Greetings and welcome back to this live critique of the most famous, most important revivalist of modern Hinduism, Vivekananda or Narendranath Dutt, who is also called Narendranath Datta, who is also called Swami Vivekananda by himself, of course. That is the name he gave himself. When he thought he has realized his true nature, he gave himself a name which is God Vivekananda. Because the first time I heard Swami was Jesus Swami or Jesus Christ the Lord, God Himself. I am very uncomfortable with putting Swami with these others whom I don't think are God in any way. But that being said, we are living in a world, fallen world, and we live with sinners, fallen humanity, natural man, and we need to learn to allow them to keep their names, even though you can, of course, critique it without allowing them to convince you they are indeed Swami. Yes, that should not happen. They are not going to convince you. They are not going to convince me. They are some form of Swami. No, that's not going to happen. So today, we'll look into one of the important aspects of Vivekananda's core teachings, which is called Inclusivism. Now, from the outside, as someone who is in the Indian church and someone who does not even have a caste identity. Many Christians have caste identities. I do not even have a caste identity. I can say, looking at it, that is Hinduism claiming inclusivity, a religion of segregation. Claiming inclusivity is total scam. Okay, so all you need to do is to question it. But in Hinduism, you cannot question it because it is hierarchy. So, what they mean by inclusivism is you are included, but not on equal terms in the hierarchy. You have a place in the hierarchy of, classification of persons in Hinduism. But as you go down, you cannot ask questions. You have to accept what the priestly caste says without any question, because you will be punished. Okay, so that is their understanding of inclusivism. Now, Vivekananda has gone one more step, and he is trying to, at an international level, use the same stratified system, stratification model, to innovate a form of inclusivism. Okay, when someone says inclusivism, normally, people who are educated, and especially in the Anglophone world, will think in terms of assuming equality. Okay, so already equality is assumed, and then inclusivity is, since we are all equal, we can all live together. That is not how Brahmins or high caste Hindus think. You can be included, but not on equal terms, because their assumption is it is not equal. So there is a fundamental difference which needs to be dealt with. So when Vivekananda speaks to the Western audience, so what is he telling? He is telling inclusivity. They are thinking equality. That is wrong. He is not telling equality. They are thinking equality when he is telling inclusivity. Okay, so that confusion has to be exposed. That assumption, cultural assumption, when one talks to other, needs to be exposed so that people can understand inclusivity from a Hindu perspective. It does not and never has the component of equality. Okay, it is always hierarchical. It cannot. In fact, Vivekananda tried equality. Okay, he claims equality based on Advaita, but it is all in the realm of Maya. His equality is a illusion, as much as the concept of variations. Okay, so his equality, radical equality, is illusion, and it does not follow, because we are talking about those in the realm of illusion. And Vivekananda has created a form of spiritual hierarchy where he himself, along with his philosophers like Radhakrishna, and their ideas are at the top, followed by the next layer below them. Okay, so this is the inclusive. They are including others. Okay, so they are the top. The including. Next comes monotheistic religions like Christianity, Islam, and below that comes polytheistic religions, ritualistic religions, animistic religions, worship of rivers, trees, snakes, etc. So that is the lowest form of truth. So that is also accepted. All of you are included, but in this way, it's not equal. It's not equally valid. And the point is, you can convert to the highest form, which is their philosophy of Advaita. So, when they say equality, inclusivity, not equality. Okay, see. As a question of starting the equality. So that is not what they are telling. What they mean is inclusivity in a stratified way. Okay, and that is the thing we should understand first. To understand the thing as it is, not using our own set of assumptions like equality, all those in which they are going to adapt to and say this is equality, but it's a new thing. Okay, they're going to adapt to the modern times and call for equality. But inclusivity as such is not based on equality. It is based on stratification. So I'm trying to give you a right description of the state of affairs as it is. So, these are the two schools we are going to contrast: Christianity and monotheistic religions, which are exclusivistic. Okay, they say this is right, you are wrong. Like I'm doing now. Vivekananda, the errors of Vivekananda means it's wrong. That is Christianity. And Islam will also have their version of it. Because they are exclusive religions. They are very clear teachings. Okay? God is not the creation. You cannot mix them up. Okay, so that is a very important thing. So God and creation are distinct. God created this thing, and the thing which is created is not God. That's the most important thing, is the thing which is created is not God, and it exists as a creation of God. Whereas what Vivekananda is telling is, there is God. The thing which exists is the manifestation of God. Okay, and what you're seeing is not real. What you're seeing with your eyes and perception, all the variations, varieties, differences, all are not real. They are illusions. There is no two. Advaita. Advaita is two, which is creator and creation. Advaita is there is no creator creation distinction. So that is the very antithesis of Christianity, Islam. But thank God, even their own Hindu philosophers have rejected Advaita, and there are Dvaita philosophers like Madhavacharya and Raghavendra who reject this creator is creation. There is no Advaita. Sankara's philosophy is rejected by Madhavacharya and Raghavendra. For them, there is creator and there is creation, and both are real. Okay, so this is not something I am saying. This is something even Ramanuja says, Vishishtadvaita, he rejects Vivekananda's philosophy, that is Vishishtadvaita, whereas Vivekananda is Advaita. So Ramanuja rejects that there is this, illusion, maya of creation, that there is no distinction. All these things are rejected by Madhavacharya, Ramanujacharya, Raghavendracharya. All of them reject Vivekananda's idea of Advaita, which is based on Adi Sankara's idea of monism. So this is actually a minority position which has been popularized by Vivekananda. And because of his halo effect and people uncritically accepting his view, this has become popular, quite popular. Advaita is quite popular. There is no doubt about it, but it is wrong. It is wrong according to Hindus, it is wrong according to Christians, it is wrong according to Muslims. And all of them have given very good critiques of Advaita Vedanta. Now we'll move on to the hierarchy of spiritual truths according to Vivekananda. Okay, so this is the hierarchy. Highest level, as I told, is non-dualism. Next, lower level is dualism, personal God, worshipping Jesus, Allah, Jehovah, God who talks to you, communicates with you, all those things. Dualism is second. Third is, last is, village people polytheism, worshipping rivers, trees, neem tree, tying yellow cloth, to neem tree, all those things are low grade, lowest level, lower level. Rituals and spirit worship. But they are all included as some form of truth. Okay. Now, Vivekananda argues that acceptance of Advaita requires the higher mental capacity or understanding which everyone does not possess. Now, the reason for this is quite a Brahmanical answer. This is what I heard from Brahmins. These are fools. Okay, so in other words, but Vivekananda puts it gently, okay, that they do not have the mental capacity for Advaita. Okay, Christians, Muslims, or do not have that, IQ. That is why they are worshipping personal God. They are in dualism because their IQ is low. And why are the village people having a religion like that? Animistic, superstitious, because they have lower IQ. So that is his reason. His reasoning is that Advaita, the highest form of spiritual truth, requires the highest intelligence level to understand it, to accept it. Okay, this perspective is totally casteist. It's called guna. Okay, character, quality of the castes. So it is based on their quality that they are making their decision, trait-based decision making, and they do not have the traits in this birth to be a non-dualist in the higher levels of Vivekananda and his cohort. So this is typical caste logic, okay, based on character. The whole Hindu caste thinking, caste logic is that guy is like that because that is his caste character. He belongs to that caste. Therefore, he is like that. That is the same answer Vivekananda is giving at the international level. Okay? By stratifying world religions and philosophies and putting himself at the top. So this is nothing but, this inclusivism is elitism now. It's changed into elitism, and it is now going to discriminate based on this. Elitist people are going to call the others of lowering non-elites. They do not have the IQ. Therefore, they are dualists. Therefore, they are animists. Not so with the non-dualists. They are the highest level of character, capacity, and they are there because of their good karma in the previous births. It has given them this capacity, and therefore they deserve it first. Next, you don't deserve it. That's the whole caste logic. And that has been smuggled into world religion, stratified by Vivekananda. It may look horrendous to some of you to hear this, but that's normal. That's normal Hindu thinking. Now, this is the same logic of British imperialism, whom they are opposing through spiritual imperialism. You may be politically powerful, but we are spiritually at the top, higher than. Okay? Now, we do not think like that. We think it's right, it's wrong. Okay? So, because based on objective criteria and revelation. So there is compatibility issues with other religions. Of course, other religions don't accept that. They are the highest form of truth and we are below you. Of course, we are rejecting it. Outright, plainly, openly, live, behind the doors, everywhere. Because there is the inherent contradiction between the non-dualistic teachings of Advaita and the dualistic teachings of other religions and other philosophies. The concept of Maya is criticized to undermine the reality of these ethical distinctions, but ultimately, what is it? It is all Maya. What Vivekananda's teaching, according to his own philosophy, all this hierarchy, all this imperialism, all this reaction, is also Maya. This is also unreal. Therefore, he is wrong. There are no distinctions. There is no equality, inequality, nothing like that. Ultimate reality is, that's all. This is not this, this is not that nitty, negativa, negativa. Now, there is also the scientific case for rejecting Advaita Vedanta, which proposes a steady state universe and mainly eternal universe. Whether a steady state or bouncing, it is eternal universe which is contradicted by the current view of universe, which is nothing but the Big Bang theory, according to which there was a point in the beginning which makes the universe finite and create. Therefore, it is Vedanta is also unscientific, meaning that you do not accept whatever Vivekananda is telling because he is wrong. Now we have seen that Vivekananda's inclusivism, if you just leave it like that, it will look very loving. You will be thinking you are accepted on par with them and all those equality assumptions which do not exist in their mind at all. It is not part of the thinking at all. Okay, so Advaita Vedanta is presented as a form of spiritual imperialism. It is presented as a form of spiritual imperialism and stratification because that is how Hindus think, stratified. Okay, so we need to understand that and reject that for the same reason. So there is the need to, again, recognize this elitism. We are the elite. We know you do not know. We have the IQ and we are born with that capacity because of our good karma in previous births, and you do not have it because you don't deserve to have it because of your bad karma in previous birth. You're left out, or if you leave out all these, thinking and think like Westerners or non-Hindus, inclusive, they are included as, then you're terribly mistaken. You're included in the hierarchy justly because you don't deserve to be at the top. You don't have the karma points to be at the elite level. So critics argue for the incompatibility of different spiritual systems. And Vivekananda has conveniently washed aside all the differences and created a form of hierarchy which does not exist, which is an error, as I have pointed out. Because it is all Maya, the whole thing which Vivekananda is telling, according to his own philosophy, we are not things Maya. That's what he is telling. That is what he is selling. Everything is Maya, and this thing also comes under Maya. And when it comes under Maya, it self-destructs. His idea of inclusivity also self-destructs. Now we'll move on to Vivekananda's proposal for equality, radical equality. Because there is no connection between ultimate reality and equality at the realm of Maya. The only equality is that all these distinctions are Maya. But that is not what he's telling. He's telling because of ultimate Brahman, all these are equal. That does not logically follow. The only equality is Maya, and because of Maya, even that, because it's all illusion, it self-destructs. This is the weakest philosophy you can encounter in your whole life. Therefore, we have successfully, in the 6th episode of this expose of Narendranath Dutt, or Datta, whatever, who is calling himself now Swami Vivekananda. We have exposed his ideas, and Narendranath is wrong. He is not Swami Vivekananda because that is also an illusion. And there is no contradiction in that. That is the logical implication. He is not a Swami, nor he is Vivek or Ananda. Okay, so that is the end of this episode. Always remember, Jesus loves you. God bless you.